Hello, my name is Nathan, and we are here with Albert, one of the co-founders of UnitConnect, and we are here to share a new feature that the team has been working on. And so Albert is here to share that with you and go from there. All right, so go ahead, Albert.
All right, thank you, Nathan. So what we want to talk about today is one of the features that we recently implemented in UnitConnect, and that feature is sales tax on rental income. So what we want to talk about is, before we start sharing our screen and walking through how to use that feature, I just want to explain what sales tax on rental is. I just want to make sure that everyone understands it. Some of the states, obviously in the United States, require that landlords or property managers collect sales tax on rental income. And obviously the percentage or the rate of the sales tax varies from state to state. And what we've implemented in UnitConnect is a very easy and convenient way to automatically calculate the sales tax and bill the tenants along with the other charges on the invoice, the required sales tax amount. I'm going to share my screen and we'll walk through how to use this particular feature in UnitConnect. All right, so I'm logged into UnitConnect. First thing what we want to do is we want to head over to admin, and we've added a screen under application management for the user to enter the sales tax rates. So when we click go here, so this screen, you can maintain and you can manage the various rates. Again, if you manage properties in different states, obviously you'll have multiple records here. So for example, here we have Florida, the rate is 6.5%, and the county is Miami-Dade, city Miami, right? You could add a new rate or you can modify the rate whenever the rate changes. So once you have this, right, we're gonna head over now to the properties. So let's pick a property. What I'm gonna pick, for example, this property with 3 tenants. I'm gonna head over to the property info page, click on invoicing, and you'll notice here that we've added a sales tax rate. Now, this particular property at the moment is not subject to sales tax, but if it was subject to sales tax, we can select the actual rate from this drop down. Now, because this property is located in New York, the New York State rates aren't shown up here, but we can set it to be a custom rate in the event that we don't use that lookup table. So let's set it to a custom rate of 5%, and we'll click update. So once we have this set up, we can configure the tenant specific rates. So from a tenant perspective, let's head over to the actual tenants now. Let's go into Dollar Tree rent details. And whenever the property settings has the sales tax enabled or set, we will see the sales tax obligation under the tenant. And now what we want to do is we want to turn this on as well for the tenant. And we allow the flexibility to bill them a custom tax rate or bill it based on the property tax rate. So in this case, we've have the property set at 5%, and that's what we're going to bill them at 5%. Again, if you want to build them custom rate, I don't know whether or not there's scenarios where you would do that, but you could set a custom rate of 6%. But again, I'm going to go back and set it to based on property, which is at 5%. All right, click update. I want to make sure that all the other tenants in the shopping center also have the sales tax turned on. We'll click update on this tenant. And then again, we'll do the same thing here. All right, so the other flexibility that we've added as well, now, if your tenant has any additional charges other than rent, again, in this scenario, the tenant does not, and we do have an additional rent line item that we want to add to their invoice. Let's assume that, you know, they're paying us monthly water, right? And the system knows that water is taxable. So we'll turn this on. Water, $100, 2023, no end date. And we'll save that. All right, so now we have the tenant settings all done, the property settings all done as well as it relates to sales tax. Let's go over to invoicing and show you how they're automatically calculated. So I'm going to head over to invoicing dashboard. We're going to generate invoices for this particular property. I'm going to select a property, create invoice, and I'm going to select create invoice. So now that the invoices are created, let's head over to the invoicing page for this particular property. We'll click on view invoices. And these are all the invoices for the month of May. Now, obviously, we have some carryover charges from prior invoices. They're all the way on the bottom, but you see the system has added a sales tax rate of 5%, and it calculates the 5% based on all of the charges on the invoice automatically. Let's head over to the other invoice, the other tenant. And again, you see the sales tax automatically calculated for this as well. And this tenant also. And that is it. So any questions, Nathan? How does this look?
Just to clarify again, it's based on the collected rent, not utilities, not CAM, not any other charges, just gross rent, or does it vary by state?
It varies by state. Now, right, obviously you should consult with your accountant, you know, in terms of what charges qualify to be taxable.
Yeah.
But in our scenario, as you've seen, we can configure which line items on the invoice can be taxable or not. So in this example, if we look at this invoice, a common charges, right? If we click on modified charge, subject to sales tax, yes. All right. So
Got
this
it.
is turned on. And again, if you want to turn this off, you can turn this off. And as you notice, the tax will automatically be recalculated based on what's actually taxable on this invoice. All right.
Got it. Okay.
So, and again, the same thing here. All right. From my understanding, again, most of the income items should be taxed. And as I've said, you can configure it in the system as need be based on your accountant's advice. So if you have any charges that are any chart of accounts that are custom to you, you can actually configure whether or not that line item should be taxable or not under the chart of accounts. So that kind of would be the system default for yourself.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. And if anyone has any questions about this feature, you can reach out to our team at support@unitconnect.com, and we'll be sure to answer any questions you have.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you, Nathan. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.